there's not really anything. You're spearing the hog, and the hog is like, well, fuck me, but then he's over it in half a second. So, typically, when you're going to use a spear, you can use a spear to deny a push, which you typically don't do against hog. You can use a spear to try to get a pick. So a good example is like this is like a widow, right? So you can spear this widow, it hits her into a wall, and then you can like after you get used to spearing enough like DPS or supports, you'll know where to like flick up to hit their head. And at this HP, if you spear into the wall, it is a guaranteed kill off the headshots as long as she doesn't get support. And 9 times out of 10, she's not getting support there. So you can just get a pick if you use spear there. I mean, if you're really crazy, you can maybe get a spear in the sim, but it's kind of iffy. But if you're gonna be playing more reset, you should be trying, especially in comp, go for these spears because you need to learn to hit them. Because that's something that you can do to get a ton of value out of that specific ability. Otherwise, if you're more concerned in the tank versus tank matchup specifically, the best time to spear hog would be I guess like if he's
Mid
trying to
wave.
retreat, typically he'll be using breather and walking away. So if you see him walking into a wall, you can spear him. You can spear him not into a wall too, but it's not as good anymore because it doesn't put breather on a long cooldown.
Right.
But you can still do that. Or the big one would be if you see him go for a hook, he doesn't get CC immunity when he's going for a hook. So you likely won't cancel hook, but you can stop his follow up from a hook if you spear him when he's hooking. And you have plenty of time to react to that too. So those are like different options for spear. Looking at spin, this spin is okay because it is an engage tool. But something you should also think about it is it's a way to deny poke, and there's not many people looking at you, so you don't really super need to use this. If you wanted to deal with the hog, you can just hold W into him and just left click, and it'll force cooldowns. In terms of what's happened to this widow, unfortunately, the most you can do is pin it. I mean, you could have gone for the spear, like I said, right? That's like a big thing you could have gone for. But the most you can do as a reset is just pin the widow and then left clicker to spam her out. If she gets picks on your widow, and unfortunately on your Moira here, it's not really your fault. It's more. I mean, if you didn't paint it right, then it's unlucky. Your Froggy's he doesn't know, right? You have to paint it for him. But if Froggy knows and he peeks it, it's on him. Um, so I guess like call out would be the only thing you can do about that. If you guys are struggling into a widow, you can go like Sigma's really good, can shut down a widow,
Okay.
and has a good matchup into hog. Um, damn, that widow's crazy.
Yeah, the widow got like 3 shots right away, and that was
So
play of the game too.
if you are playing into a really good widow, I would not recommend playing Barisa.
Oh, okay, this
I would
spot right here. Should I have peeled
yeah.
for Arctos? Because Arctos was very pissed that I let him die to a Moira. Or no, to a Sim.
Well,
He was like, why
uh,
aren't you here? Why didn't you help me? Where are
okay.
you? So is this my
So
fault for
let's
letting him die?
here. I'll show you exactly from both perspectives. But I'm not waiting. I'm waiting up there. I'm gonna go third person. Oops. So Arctis is backing. He's not backing the right way. All right.
Yeah.
He should
So
either continue kiting this way or kite this way. He is not in a safe spot yet because that's a super pitchable spot. All right. So in that sense, it is his fault.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, if you know your Ana is there, and you should have the awareness to know your Ana is there, you should not be leaving your Ana. So I would say it's on both of you because Arcos could have kept backing up, but you should have helped him. And then if you didn't want to stay there, which I understand not wanting to stay there, there's a sim right
Well,
there.
because part of me was like, I didn't want to stay there
You
because
should
Sim was
oh,
there,
it's
and
just
then
you.
also, like, they literally could have just held W and pushed.
can you
Right?
They
look at what
okay.
cooldowns he has? Just
So on let's on my
But, like,
Ana.
if we're specifically focusing on the Sim
He
and
has no
saying no other
series.
okay.
characters
There's no
exist,
cooldown
then
problem.
yeah.
Okay.
So
You
I think also if we're getting super nitpicky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
nitpicky,
yeah.
no bias. They're not gonna be able to kill an Orisa
Mm-hmm.
with their comp.
Okay.
Unless if the hog hits the craziest long range hook, so you're super out of position, pulls you into 3 sim turrets, and your supports forget about you, you're not gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, you can just sit here in front of your Ana. But like I
Gotcha.
said, it's still on Arcus for not leaving. But in this situation, if you know your Ana's not in a position, instead of you backing up to a position where you feel you're safer, you should instead say, "Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go, leave, 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 leave," something like that. Because like that's how I get my supports moving. Sometimes it can be annoying as shit for the supports if you don't fucking stop telling them what to do. But if you need them to move, you need them to move. Now ultimately it's comp. So I think what you're doing, like in a scrim, that's what the answer is. What I told you, it's comp. What you're doing is fine. Arctis is coping and Malden.
Okay.
That's not him.
Before you continue,
Yeah.
we could have saw Noah's leg split, but you know you already went past that. You're fine. Continue.
Oh my
Yeah, my
god.
bad.
Oh, we
My
can
bad.
do that again. Don't
No,
worry.
no,
Don't
no,
worry.
no, 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 no.
I just had to have a poke funny there.
Gotta lighten up the mood. But
Yeah,
yeah, see, okay, so this widow is clearly diffing our widow, but I think it's commendable for the widow trying, because it's one of those, like, if a widow's really good, you need someone doing a little
Pressure.
bit of pressure. So,
well, it'd be better. Okay,
Monkey.
Reaper was not the answer.
yeah.
It would have been
I
better if they
think
went
you,
to something like Tracer or Genji.
yeah, I think you went
Um,
Reaper just for the hog, honestly.
So the easiest way to, I mean, that's valid. The easiest way to shut down a good Widow or other poke heroes like Hanzo, Soldier, stuff like that is to go dive. And so ideally, you can get your tank to go dive, but the thing about dive with tanks is they're map dependent.
Okay.
DPS are not map dependent. You can run a dive DPS on any map in the entire game. Some are obviously more valid than others, but you can run any dive DPS on any map in the game and you get plenty of value.
Hey
So
guys,
I
I
would
need to go.
say, okay,
Okay,
bye bye
bye,
Froggy.
geeks. I mean,
Hi,
Froggy Bear.
Froggy. Hello.
Okay, bye.
Um, so your Reaper should be going like Tracer or Genji, and that would make your life against the Widow a lot easier. You can't go dive tank here.
I
It's just
cannot.
not. You know, you can't. I mean, if you were really good at Diva, you could make it work. Or if you were like really good at Ball, you could make it work. Um, but Winston is not going to be a good time. You're not going to have fun. And Diva, you're not going to have fun unless you're really good. So my recommendation for tank would be Sigma. First, you're good at Sigma, but then B, for Sigma, you can just shield off angles, and then you can block hook too with shield.
Gotcha. And then I
Um,
could use rock. Well, you can't really cancel breather because he can breathe
yeah,
again.
yeah. I mean, you can like you can like rock him to be annoying, but it's not as good as it was before.
Right.
Um,
Okay. So that's good to know. Well, that's tragic.
but Sigma, yeah, Sigma would definitely be the pick. You did go Diva, so like I said, respect it on a different map. Great pick,
Would have
great
right.
pick.
But this map is
This
just
just it's just hard to make it work on this map.
yeah.
What you would have to do here, I'll tell you how you're gonna have to play Diva. You have to go play off of this high ground. So I would be walking right here, forcing out the Ana with probably DM and micros, and then flying up here, getting CDs back, finding the Widow, and going for some kind of dive. But like the problem with that is your team is so left alone to deal with the hog. It makes it really hard, and then you have to be really good at knowing your limits, knowing how to use boosters correctly, DMing correctly, using micros at the right time to be able to like get away with it. So is it doable? Yes. Is it hard? Yeah, really hard. I mean, you're kind of doing what I recommended. Um, if you're not comfortable playing like a more aggressive form of Diva, Diva can still work against this comp. It's just not going to be as divey against the Widow as you might like. You can use Diva as a counter to Hog. And then pair up like with Noah can be like super aggressive, and maybe even Noah's like, oh my gosh, I really want to win this game, and he swaps a Bastion, has a great time.
Gotcha.
Because Noah can turret form and then melt the sim, and then you can just DM anything the hog wants to do, and then that's a great way to deal with it. But yeah, so we're gonna probably be stuck here for a while then, because I don't think anything's really gonna happen. That's a great pick. I'm getting nanoed. Okay. So now here's another micro thing for Diva.
Yeah.
We're gonna get in. Uh, So you go in and then you start DMing these people. This is good only if you have a DPS following up with you. So if you're like a tracer there, you can
Oh.
DM to stop damage, but otherwise you should just be shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Now I did order food, so I have to go be right back.
Okay, I'm gonna go put Oreo out then while you do that.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Oh yeah,
too.
I'll be right back. I'll be right
Okay.
Bio break.
Bio break, everybody.
Okay.
Let's turn on some lights for the peoples.
And the fur babies.
Hi, Oreo.
Hi, Oreo.
My light turned off. There we go. Yeah. Do 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 do. Come on, Oreo. Let's go outside. Okay. Let me get some water from my mother.
Hello.
Hey, yo. Knock, knock, mama.
Is it photo review time?
Yes, it is. Mama?
Oh, Superman, big fucking daddy dick. Wait, what?
Mama?
Huh?
Oh,
Hey,
I
yo.
have some water for
Wait.
you. Well, if you're thirsty, it's on your nightstand, okay? Okay. I love you. Okay.
Okay, chat, I'm back.
Alright, I'm back too.
Hello.
Yes, we're
Hey,
having a
chat.
VOD review, and I'm not trying to like give too much details because I want it as unbiased and as detailed as possible. Cause Arctos and I bumped heads, and it's tragic because I'm like co-owner of the crew, so everyone's gonna side with me. Smile.
Wait, you and Octos?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, did yelling
Heard you're on
come
the
in?
widow here.
Did yelling come into play?
Raised voices came into play. I don't know. No, would you call it yelling? Yeah, it's not even here. Anyways.
I didn't know it.
Alright, so here. So our Reaper's actually doing pretty good, right? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
What?
oh, I
Yeah,
fucking like
so,
almost died of this because I'm not good. Watch me
okay.
struggle.
Well, that's not, you ate the sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, why are you DMing?
Because I'm scared.
You
Because I'm a bitch.
you ate the sleep. All right. So
Okay.
it's a skill check. Skill check passed. All right. You got
Cool.
it.
Okay.
You got ability 1 of 2, and they didn't use the other one. So good
Mhm.
job. I heard the DM on your soldier, which is good.
I still do a lot of trash eating.
Freshly
Nice.
son.
Not to
Silver, gold. What can you say?
Do the best you can.
So I probably should be going on high ground, not sitting on this low, right?
I think it was fine.
I would be playing here.
Up here. Okay.
Mhm. because you can pressure them from behind when they walk up,
Mhm.
and then you have boosters to either push into someone who's out of position.
Yeah.
Fly here is a way to get out, or fly over here is a way to get super safe out.
Hold
There's
up
a
a
lot of
minute.
options. Yeah.
Wait,
So
is Anna Moira a thing now?
no, no.
This is just a
Oh.
This is
comp
comp.
game. This is just comp.
Oh.
That's why we have
Okay.
a random Vlad or Vape Lord.
Anakiri's a
I
thing.
assume they were a ringer.
Ooh, look at the DM Mighty's doing, kind of swag.
Trying. But I feel like the target, I'm like, Cog shouldn't really be my priority.
Yeah.
So, like,
So
he's taking up
Um,
too much of my focus.
one thing
okay.
about DMing Hug. Oh, you go, Keegan.
Yeah. Um. Okay. So I'll talk about this.
I
This
die
was
here, sad.
I. Okay. So I really like the idea behind this.
Uh-huh.
Because you like, okay, I have bomb. That means I can overextend, which is like feeding, right? You're like, okay, I'm gonna
Mhm.
feed into this widow, and you do that, but you bomb too early. You still have
Yeah.
HP left, so you can be on her more, and then it'll also give you more time to like kind of play to get around a corner for a remake.
Mhm.
I want to remake an open space, especially against Hog.
Before you
'Cause-
continue, with Diva
yep.
Bomb, I mean, I don't play tank too much, but if I'm not wrong, can't you get out of mech and then also bomb
Yeah.
at the same
Yeah.
time within?
Yeah.
You have
Yes.
like a
Yeah,
That'll
that's
be a
what he
set.
bomb.
means by I
Yeah,
use my
and that's like
ultimate
with
too
the
early.
grace period around it. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You're not at 0, so you had extra time.
Mhm.
And then for the Hug ult thing, I'm pretty sure that you were DMing while you had armor up. For Hug ult, essentially, because you have such a massive armor pool,
Mhm.
just look away from him and like ride the Hug ult away from him. And then
Mhm.
when you run out of armor, that's when you want to turn around and DM.
So like body
Because
block it for
then,
the team and then DM afterwards.
well, no, it's just that you want to get away from him because your DM doesn't last as long as his ult.
Mhm.
So he's just going to drain your entire DM, and then you're still going to be point blank with him, and he's just going to deal 1 billion damage to you after your DM runs out.
Look at that grapple shot. Oh, I saw that too. I was like, ah, my Reaper dies. So I'm just standing here,
Wow.
kind of like doing nothing. This I get.
So, um, this is bad for two
Yeah.
reasons. Two mistakes here. First one, um, if we lose someone, we don't really get much of a poke, especially against a widow that's one tapping everybody.
Yeah.
So you should just leave. But then also, if you're ever in a phase where you're frontlining, and right now what you're doing is frontlining, right, in the front of
Mhm.
your team, versus the hog, which is in some situations an okay thing to do is diva. Make sure you're always marking this hog. So the if Noah ever gets hooked here, which is possible, even if you're frontlining, you get insta DM out.
Right.
Um,
DM the
that's
damage.
like the most important thing. It's a lot easier for diva players who play diva in Overwatch 1 to get it because that's the only
Mhm.
thing you did as diva was mark hog. Um, but you would still have to do it. You still have to do it. There's if you are not actively diving someone in the enemy backline, you
Mhm.
should be DMing every single hook,
Okay.
every single one. Um,
Wait, can you DM hook? Wait, what?
No, no. So like
No,
so
when.
them
you,
Oh,
yeah, you DM the follow
follow
up
up damage.
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Against
Gotcha.
Diva, Hug's
So
hook
you're saying
becomes the
if you get,
displacement rather than the kill ability.
are you essentially saying like if you do get hooked by hog to
Okay. So
just
is
sit there
this
and DM
okay?
and
I
back up?
went to like force, but I die here
Um,
for it because I have
you
no
just force it
support
when you force the
LOS.
widow away.
Yeah.
So
As
this is
soon as
really cool.
he's off
Love
high,
this. Love this. Drop
But
back this way.
oh, okay, okay.
So you can
yeah,
LOS them. And then if the
Right.
hog pushes you, you can go back even further until you get boosters, and then you can either boost this way or this way. This
yeah,
way is faster if you have more HP, but this way is safer if you have less
Less
HP.
HP. Okay.
yeah.
Um,
'Cause as
but
soon
we're
as the Widow's off that high, then you've done your job.
mhm. And right now you're
Like,
taking a poke roll with shotgun.
Big W, Mighty.
Thank you.
So it's like you got halfway there, which is good.
Okay, okay. Will note they swapped to Tracer, and this is where Arctis is getting really frustrated because he's saying Widow isn't the problem, Tracer is. But my thought is, as a diva, it's up to both supports and maybe a DPS to help each other. Correct? Or
Um,
no? Is that incorrect thinking?
well, first of all, good eat.
Thank
Um,
you.
So it's very dependent. In Overwatch 1, it was always D.Va's job to peel.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's where it gets really hard with D.Va. So D.Va's a very complex character, and in each situation, you have two choices, and those choices are being in or being out. If
Mm-hmm.
you are not in, it is your job to peel, yes. If you are in, you should not be peeling.
Okay.
But you have to be decisive about it, and that's why D.Va is so hard.
Right.
You have
Because
to be
everyone,
everything everywhere all at once.
yeah, everything in this rank, you are very indecisive, and so it's really hard. Like Matt just said, when I was first learning D.Va, my coaches over and over and over told me it is my job to be doing everything everywhere all at the same time. That's why D.Va is so hard, because you have to literally do everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's maximizing the value you can get, and you don't get that without putting in hundreds of hours of D.Va. So it's really, really hard. If you typically, if you have a sorry, if you have a more divey comp, you'll be in more often than not. If you have a more pokey comp, you'll be out more often than not. But typically, it's like it's just like you have to have a decision made, and I don't expect you to have that decision made.
Right.
Ultimately,
Okay.
though, um, this is where the cope comes in for Arctos. In the current metagame, if two supports peel for each other, it is impossible to die to one single player.
Mm-hmm.
It is not. This tracer cannot kill a support if the supports peel each other. It is not possible. Even with the buff, it is not possible. So in that sense, if Arcus is dying off cooldown, it's more on Froggy than it is on. Well, it could be on him too. His position might be terrible, but it's likely more on Froggy than it is on you. Yeah, can you help?
Okay.
100%. 100%. I'm sure
Which I
there's
did. I
so
mean,
many
I ate a pulse.
situations.
I did
Yeah,
something.
there's
Yeah.
so many situations I'm sure you can
Yeah.
peel when you're not peeling. I promise you that because
Right.
you're not going to be good at D.Va yet. You're in gold.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be good at D.Va.
Yeah.
Um, if you
You
were good
you
at
will
D.Va,
not.
yeah, if you were good at D.Va, you'd be at least diamond.
Mm-hmm. So I went in without my supports. I basically fed there and I shouldn't have. That I know.
You also your mech got popped instantly, which means you probably weren't doing DMing very well, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, it's like I flew into 3 people, didn't have my supports to see me. It was just a lot of like, not great.
Ultimately, though, if Arctos was blaming you, the problem with their comp is to win, it's going to be your DPS that wins. And listen, I love Noah, but with Noah's Arc 94 and Vape Lord as the DPS line, you're not winning this
Yeah.
game. You're not winning this game.
Hey, Vape will go crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's kind of yeah, Matt. You didn't see it. You didn't see it before he swapped to this Reaper. Such a good Reaper pick, by the way. It's to counter Widow. He went 0
Wait,
and 4 in
no
the Widow
way.
duel. They went 0
Yeah.
and 4 in the
He
Widow
went
duel.
0 and 4 and but once he swapped Reaper, he started shitting on the Widow in a way.
Hey,
That
it's a
doesn't
counter pick.
that
What can I
Hey,
say?
that
hey,
doesn't make any sense at all.
hey,
That
yo.
doesn't make any sense at
Yeah,
all.
I think it would be very funny for you to watch like a VOD of me playing now after like not scrolling for it yet.
Yeah, it'd be pretty entertaining, I bet.
So I'm essentially not doing much here.
It's
I've
okay. It's
escaped
more.
Overwatch. I now have a job.
Yo, Froggy's the fucking goat. Look at this guy.
It makes me so
Blood
sad that
clot.
Tracer just like loses that.
So I don't
Oh,
think I'm
yeah.
like stabilizing enough, but
Yeah, the Poke Reaper goes crazy. Okay, so you still
so
at HP there. That's
did
okay.
I? I thought I did really good on this one. There was one where I was like, I definitely like lost all
Maybe,
my HP.
maybe the game is baiting me. Maybe the game is baiting
Maybe.
me. We'll check for
It
you.
might not be this one. I know there was one where I like was at 0.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you had
Oh,
HP left,
Okay.
but
but that's okay.
you have very little HP, so it's like not the end of the world. It's just habit. Because like you have a solid like second after the animation starts before the bomb. Like it doesn't let you bomb anymore.
If I had better aim, she probably would have died, but I don't.
Actually, no.
There's a lot of
Actually,
situations. Oh.
You could drop here. Super safe
Really?
drop.
Okay.
Yep, because there's like no one holding this angle, right?
Mhm.
So you can just drop, and then you'll get back instantly because you got boosters that last like 3 seconds on a 4 second cooldown.
Mhm.
So like
Mhm.
half your uptime you'll have boosters. So you can like the thing about Diva is and most dive tanks is that they're like super mobile, and so you should abuse that the most you can. That's the thing is you want to abuse mobility, and that's what makes dive good. So this situation you could have done that. You could have confirmed that kill. I don't think aim mattered there because you have shotguns, so you're not missing, but you're also not hitting as much as you want. No matter how good your aim is, you're only gonna do so much.
Also, my Reaper dim. He had ult and died. Tragic. Also, I lose this. I'm so bad.
Well,
Oh,
they
she's
got
being
pocketed.
pocket. Okay.
Yeah, they
And
got
then I
pocketed.
don't
As soon as you
touch.
see a pocket, you should instead try to play life because you're not gonna get a
Life.
kill without micros.
Okay.
If you want to look at this last fight
Yeah.
and really look at Arctos' cope, um, here's where we're at. Arctos is getting bullied. Nothing he can do about that. Nothing you can do about that either. You got slept. It's fine.
But wouldn't one say like, why is he positioned
Oh
on
wait,
cart? Shouldn't he be like?
wait. I didn't go as far back as I thought I did. Okay, you're going for your bomb.
Because in
So
theory,
this
Nice,
is as safe
honest.
as like.
Mhm.
I think he's fine because he's like on cart with the AoE
yeah.
heals and also his Myrosa, and he can't really go high ground with the Myra because
He can't support you if he's not up.
But I think
So I
that's
guess
probably
this
where
is
he was
one of
saying the
those
tracer was
things.
a problem. I don't know.
Yeah. So in that sense, it's like valid for him. So you made a fine play going for the widow because if you don't go for the widow and you instead peel for the tracer, widow takes this angle,
And
which
pop.
is really
and you just
scary.
lose.
Yeah.
And then someone dies, right? And so like I mean maybe Arctis is smart and goes back here, but I know it's definitely not doing that shit. So Widow gets a pick here. Widow gets a pick on this angle.
Hey yo, ball
Um,
man do ball things. He don't care
for
about no
real,
widow
for
maker.
real. So then you're playing here, which is like fine. You can deal with the tracer. But eventually you have to push the widow anyways. The tracer probably. I mean, I guess the tracer has to contest. So I guess you could have argued, yeah, tracer's the play, but I don't know. It's pretty iffy, and it requires Arctis to make the correct decision too. You in for the
Right.
widow is a fine play. It's just different. Instead of you marking the tracer, you're marking the widow, which is like
Right.
they're all their problem. They're like one of you saying one's the problem, one of you saying the other problem. They're both problems. There's
Right.
two problems. You're arguing about which one's
Well,
more important. It's
based
a
on what
problem
you
though.
said is if I am not on the front line like or like in their back line, then I need to be in our back line peeling. And so since I
Yeah,
chose to be in their back line, my choice was all right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you picking the widow or the tracer are both fine options,
Mhm.
but you pick the widow. That's okay. What it like means though.
I will
Okay,
say it
we're
does
gonna go.
suck that like okay, yes, Arctos, I'm pretty sure he had like three people, two people with him. He had Noah,
Okay,
and he
yeah.
might have had.
You need. Oh wait, we're gonna go back a little further. What you need is your
So
team
like
to
see
not
there's Froggy
lose a
Bear,
3v2.
right? There's Froggy Bear, Noah, and Arctos.
Yeah, you're. Oh, they have the Ana back, so I guess it's. I don't know. It's really iffy. You just need Noah to not lose. Like I said, ultimately it's coming down to a DPS.
Mhm.
um, your boy Vape Lord not out here helping.
Right.
Vape Lord OP, fuck you mean? Don't be saying anything about my
it's
boy
like
like that.
it's like the thing about Overwatch is in 99% of situations there isn't a correct answer.
Right.
There's just answers that might be better. Um and you and Arctos both had quote unquote correct views on the game and how it should be played. They just didn't line up, and that's okay. So both of you were right. Ultimately, it just matters, can your DPS beat their DPS? That's the answer. That's what you need. Um that didn't happen. So it's okay. You guys are gonna cope and maul, and you're gonna blame each other because you have different ideals.
Well, okay, that's the
Both of you
thing.
are
Like
right.
when we're grouped up, it's like established that you don't blame each other. You literally blame the rando on the team, or we just say, "Hey, it was a team div." And so like
Well,
it was not brought up until Arctis, like this is why I'm trying to keep quiet because I want this VOD review to be as like neutral as possible.
No.
So like once this is over, I'll like vent a bit more.
Unfortunately, in that aspect, that's unrelated to coaching, so I can't
Mhm.
speak on that.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of the game, though, in terms of what I'm looking at, you're right, and Arctos is right.
Right. Which this is
but
cool to
so it's
know.
like,
Or
It's
who's more right?
who's
no,
more right?
I don't think
Okay,
anyone's
well,
more right. I think like it goes back to what
Yeah.
Keeg said. Where I was at because I was in their backline, what I did was fine. If I
yeah,
wasn't in their backline, I was just sitting there like in front of cart, just letting them do their thing. Then I'm at fault because I didn't turn around and peel for my team. It's basically right, Keegs.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no one's
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's like ultimately, you guys lost because you were playing comp and you were treating it like comp.
Mhm.
If
yeah.
that was a scram, you guys have a better comp, you have better comps, and then you win.
Right.
But it's comp, right? You're not gonna try hard too much in comp. And that's okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay.
Twenty.
Yeah.
Can you
Mm.
quickly look at my stream real quick?
Yeah.
I want to show you for the like old Diva's DMAC animation, like how late you can press it to
I'm pretty
where
sure I
like
did
you
it
can
one
still put the bomb
time.
off.
Yeah. Go Geeks told me to
But
practice
yeah.
that
So
in game.
I'm gonna press it now.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. You
Well,
look.
I
Oh.
fucked it up.
LOL.
We look close. Believe it or not, Matt was closer than you were.
Damn.
So.
Damn. Okay. Touche.
I was just at the wrong side. Okay, let's turn it back on. Just need a minute to die.
Damn. Is there a faster way to?
Not
No.
really. You're not in practice
No.
range.
No, this game sucks.
I did like perfectly before I started streaming. There.
Mhm.
So that
Okay.
was like
Just
it's enough to react to it, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But
Cool.
but yeah. So like when you know when it does like the two arm staggers separately
Mhm.
when your mech gets broken. If you do it on the second arm stagger, that's still like comfortably in time
Mm.
to do it. But yeah, I will keep quiet again now.
No, you could. Okay. This at this point, this is where Arctos is flaming me, and I'm stating my side of the story.
well, if it makes you feel any better, Arctos thinks I have bad opinions sometimes. Oh,
Well,
and we
Arctos
can
is
take
the
that back
one
to
who
you.
says no, Bastion isn't good, Reaper's better. And
Yeah,
really,
exactly,
it's just like
exactly.
his positioning.
I
Sometimes he'll be off in the
love
ether.
Bastion.
Well, because like
But
PSI will watch his gameplay and says the reason why he feels like Bastion isn't good is because sometimes he'll be split from the team or like doing some weird off angling, and then he's not
yeah,
getting the value he needs, and then his supports can't
it's
support
like
him. So there's like a
the other
combination, and it's not
Yeah,
the hero itself. It's just
the
his.
other reason is Bastion's like a really good character, really easy character, but a really good character. But the difference between Bastion and other easy characters is Bastion doesn't have a get out of jail free card.
I
Mhm.
play Bastion like he's Soldier, but with a giant fucking Gatling gun on his back.
Mhm. So this one is
So
really rough. We get like absolutely steamrolled. I get like hooked. I get hooked, discorded, and I don't know what else, but
Okay,
I die
well,
instantly.
Orisa is not the pick here. I
yeah,
don't think.
Arista is most definitely not the pick here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, with what your concerns are, you definitely want like Sigma. It's like
Okay.
the pick.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
Because
of,
Sigma, because you have Shield for Widow, you have
Mm.
Shield for Hog Hook, and then you can like if you need to deal with a Tracer, you can put
Grasp.
up Shield and look behind you.
we're
Yeah.
back to when Sigma used to block Hook.
That's pretty crazy.
LOL.
The problem with Orisa is you have nothing to deal with Widow. Um, and then you have to be focused on frontline.
Right.
Those are the two problems with Orisa. It's like once again, differences between Sigma and Orisa is that Sigma has more poke value, and can hold space a little bit better. Except Orisa is way better at surviving. So typically, you'll go Orisa if there's a dive threat, Sigma tends to die to dives, but Orisa will easily live through a dive. Or if there's a hyper aggressive brawl comp,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
then you can use Orisa to kind of. So it's like both Sigma and Orisa are good against hyper aggressive brawl comps. Orisa can zone the tank better, but if you're able to keep away from the brawl comp, so on longer range maps, Sigma's better because of higher poke damage. But it's like on closer maps, you'd want Orisa because you have cooldowns to zone the tank. Or like better cooldowns at least to zone the tank.
Okay.
But against poke comps, Orisa struggles.
Yeah. I feel like even if I had nailed my like cooldowns, yeah, I
Oh,
still would have died. Like even if I'd maybe
ooh.
fortified that, it's just delaying the point
Well,
just a little
if
longer.
you would have fortified it, you wouldn't have gotten hooked. But
Yeah, but I guess my point is like I
the
still
second you
would
got
have
hooked, then you
died
were dead.
anyways. I just died
Yeah,
sooner.
it was. They had a fuck the tank comp, and they still do, and so it's really hard to get away with a lot of tanks when that's the case.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Um,
so he does
okay.
get the widow
Wow, my
eventually.
goat,
Yeah.
my goat.
I like playing Hagen to fuck the tank comps,
Oh, also, if
personally.
Arctos is out here coping against a tracer, maybe he shouldn't be an Ana. That's
Well,
a thing too,
no,
by the way.
yeah.
That's
Well,
like another
anyways,
thing.
yeah,
I've been telling you about your hero picks.
mhm.
Also, Ana gets countered by tracers, so don't play Ana. You can play Kiri, or yeah, Kiri, or maybe even Kiri, but maybe yeah, like Kiri. But then also
I don't
maybe even
know.
Kiri,
I'll just,
or Moira or Lucio, depending on your tank. But Kiri.
yeah, I'll hold my tongue and tell you the venting afterwards.
This is so unfun.
Yeah, I swap after this. I was like, nah, fuck this fam.
There are technically some things you can do about it. You can be a little bit. You have to be more proactive. No, the
Mhm.
goat. Maybe my king out here.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe don't ego that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he got away with that. That's crazy. It's a pick. They go Alari. That
Also, nice job, Noah. Look at him on flanking, hard flanking
Noah.
too.
Noah is goaded this
Mhm.
round. So
Mhm.
Arctos' pick here matches up super well with Noah, but doesn't fit with the rest of the team. Like like these two make sense. These three, like what the fuck am I looking at, bro?
Yeah.
I guess argument you could say Froggy Bear swapping to like a Baptiste and Mighty swapping to a Sigma, then all of a sudden you have that Sig comp we've been playing in scrims
Right.
with some weird DPS, but ultimately it works. So I guess you could blame you on that, but this wouldn't have been my first pick. I would have gone like Kiri, and then all of a sudden, I mean the Widow's weird, but the rest of the comp works.
Well, I think the widow is only to challenge the other widow, which makes sense because sometimes they'll say like, hey, if you have a really good widow, then you just need another widow.
So, okay, well I know. Okay, some people cope and say that, but guys, there's counters to Widow other than Widow.
Like Sombra?
Like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I was more so thinking Tracer, but Sombra too. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's a
So
terrible pylon.
so here I feel like I'm not doing too much. All I'm doing is just, as you said, marking the hog. But like,
So
I guess there's nothing
marking
else
the
to do,
hog,
right?
marking the hog is a good thing to do to let your DPS win. So if you have better
Mhm.
DPS, marking the hog is like that's the most they can ask for. Because if you're marking the hog, you're not making space, but they're not making space. And on defense, that works for your DPS.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
Ideally though, you wouldn't be on Diva on King's Row, and
Right.
you're playing like Stigma instead. And then all of a sudden, not only are you marking the hog, you're also pushing hog back. You're like putting pressure on angles that the DPS from the enemy team could be taking. So it's like a lot better. Sigma's a lot better here.
Mhm.
Uh, but I mean, like this is fine. What you're doing is it is like passing grade.
Yeah.
Now
Passing grade.
This
Yeah,
is you're getting an opportunity to go on the Widow here. Not
yeah,
saying you have to, but it opens up. It's really scary for Hook and Disc, but you can go on
right.
the Widow and walk behind the corner, and then you're taking that angle. Kind of like what Froggy's doing, actually.
I think he.
Froggy's egoing because he'll get punished for it, or can get punished for it. Look at my goat Froggy. Froggy's really getting his main support mentality right now.
Mhm.
Okay, so
I don't
in
know. I think
terms of
the bomb was
bombing with Diva, the bomb was
Yeah.
fine. That was
Okay.
fine. I'm pretty sure your mech was getting popped, so that's fine. But the remech is really scary.
Yeah.
So as when you're remaking as Diva, you should first in your mind you should act. I am not on the battlefield right now. I cannot do things. The most important thing you can do is try to get to a position that is safe enough for you to remech without getting one shots
Mhm.
or CC'd, like specifically stunned.
Mhm.
Those are the two things. After that, then you can start to look for shots. So a lot of the times, if you're bombing, like you bombed where you were, um, you could have just walked this way. You could have, like, because when you
Mhm.
bomb, you can hold a direction. Your character will jump out of mech that way. So you could, like, if you're bombing this way, you can hold A, and you'll jump out of mech this way, land about here, and then you can walk this and mech here. This
Right.
is a safe mech because
Mhm.
they have to overextend really hard to stop you. Um, this is a dangerous mech because you can get hooked. Or Zen, I think, is somewhere. Zen could have walked up and been like, got him, and then you're dead,
Right.
and then you insta lose the fight. That's the number one thing. After you get used to that, after you know what's safe, that's when you can start looking for plays. So, an example is a lot of times I'll go for an aggressive dive. Let's say you went for a dive on the Widow before over here. You go for an aggressive dive on the Widow. Maybe our mech gets popped here, and then she's jumping down here. I drop down her and I pistol her. That's something you can do if it's safe. Or you can be like, okay, I know I'm here and I want to remech, so I can peek the corner a little bit, and then if anyone's chasing me, they get meched on. Those are things you can do, but the most important thing, the number one thing you gotta think about is my remake safe? It's the
Right.
most important thing.
Okay.
And like I can tell you kind of had the idea a little bit because you're on a corner, which is good. It's
Right.
just not a good corner. Now I'm also gonna mention now, Mighty, if you see this corner and you don't think about this corner, then this remake is better than spending 10 seconds walking over here.
Trying to find
Remaking
it.
fast,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But you guys just lose here. So
I couldn't
a lot of
name.
coping going on, probably on both sides.
Okay. Okay. You want to hear the
But
cope? Wait. Is this over
no,
yet? It's
sure,
not over yet.
no, cope mighty.
Wait. Wait.
Well,
Wait.
it's over. It's over.
It's over. Oh, look at Vlad or Vape or whatever the fuck his name is.
And maybe Noah gets 5 here.
Oh my god, that's in. Holy. Okay, okay, okay. So this is the coping. Maybe I should stop recording because I just recorded the VOD review.